everyone, it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com. Thanks for stopping by today to watch my video. I'd like to show you today this project, and it is actually an Origami Photo Cube. I've seen the origami frames and I've seen the frames put into an album, but I thought it'd be fun to have it as a cube. Now, it starts with a square piece of paper, actually 6 of them, and you can create them in any pattern or colors you want. And it would be fun, I think, to put a combination of pictures and sentiments in there. This one just has sentiments. And you can start with any size square and create this. And I think it would be fun for any occasion because you could put, I don't know, Happy Father's Day, Happy Birthday, you know, maybe next year Happy Mother's Day, any sentiment in there at all, and put some pictures of you or the recipient, and then perhaps on the bottom go ahead and use the bottom as a place to write your special message to them on, and then they could stand it on their desk and see it. Now that one started with 6 by 6 papers, and the finished cube is 3 by 3 by 3, so you got about half of what you start with. This one started with 6 4 by 4 inch papers, and the finished cube is 2 by 2 by 2. On this one, it was the Trust God sentiments from Stampin' Up! That I used, and I believe they're retired, but I really do like them. Now, one thing you'll notice on this one is you'll see some crinkliness. That's because I put together my cube and then I tried to stuff my 3 inch by 3 inch square into it, or picture, whatever you want to stuff into it. I would recommend putting it in while you're making it, and I'll show you as we go how you do that. Because you can see on this one, the papers are a lot flatter. You don't see that crinkliness where I had to wrinkle them in, because I put them in there while I was assembling my photo cube. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you what you need. So what you need are 6 square sheets of paper. And I wouldn't use cardstock. That's a little too thick to fold in an origami style. And you'll see this once I start folding it, you'll see what I mean. But I went ahead and used 2 of 3 different designs of paper. So I'm using the 6 inch by 6 inch paper. And for this one I used the 4 inch by 4 inch paper. And that's about as small as I could get with a little bit thicker paper. If you used a thinner paper, like more of a copy paper style, then it would be easier to fold a smaller one. And the paper I'm using is the Paper Studio Basics Pack 2. Now you need to decide which ones you want for around the sides and which ones you want for the top and the bottom. So I'm going to start with the top and the bottom, and I think I'm going to use the yellow ones for the top and the bottom. So let me go ahead and show you how to fold that one. Alright, this is really simple. It's not a difficult origami fold, but just go ahead and take it and fold it in half one way. Open it up, fold it in half the other way, and try to get your folds as close to the edges as possible. It will make your frames nice and square. Alright, so go ahead and open that up, put the outside one down, and fold these corners into that cross in the center that you just created. Okay, so far so easy. Alright, so go ahead and take that, put those in, and flip that over. Now, again, fold the corners in till you get to that point in the center where all of your fold lines cross. And I do the 2 side ones first, because if you start layering up more layers, that if you fold it like around in a clock or something like that, it will kind of twist it a bit and make it a little bit skewed. Just go ahead and take your time and fold those all down. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to hold those down and we're actually going to flip it back over. And you'll notice that you have the 4 outside corners pointing towards the middle. So what we're going to do with each of those is put that corner to the outside corner, just like this, and fold it right across the diagonal of that square. So we want this corner to touch this one, and we want the fold to be right across the diagonal. And just do that all the way around. Oops. Take your time, don't rush like I just did so you don't tear your paper. All right, so these are all folded up. Now we want it to be folded down because we want to have a neat corner for our picture frame. So go ahead and fold those bottom 4 corners back out. And what we're going to simply do is to pick up that, we'll unfold that, fold that corner down, and fold it back in. All 4 sides. Open up, fold that corner in, fold it down. And it goes pretty rhythmic at this point once you get into a rhythm. All right, go ahead and fold those other corners back in. Now for the top and the bottom, you can go ahead and stop here because these four corners are going to slide down and up into your other photo frames to secure it into a cube. So you need 2 of these, one for the top and one for the bottom. So now let's do the ones that are going to be for the side, and they're all done the same way. We actually start the same way. Fold it to the center, open it up, fold it the other way to the center, line up, there we go. Okay, fold to the center, fold to the center. You have 2 folds and a cross. Take those corners, fold them in, make sure that your pattern that you want on the outside of the frame is down. Oops, that was way off. Okay, that's better. Okay, you got your 4 corners folded into the center. Flip that over, do the same thing again. 4 corners into the center. Now it gets a little thicker now, so take your time and just get it folded over and creased. And one more time, fold it over and creased. And this is a little thicker paper. It's not cardstock, but it's a little bit thicker paper. So, you know, take your time if you're using a little bit thicker. A little thinner might be easier for you to start or to get some smaller squares out. All right, so we're doing the exact same thing again. We flipped it over. You know, that's the side we ended on. We're flipping it over, and these corners that were original corners, we're going to flip out to these corners and fold it across the diagonal. Exact same thing as we did to the last one. Okay. All right, so we're going to also open this up and we're going to fold those corners in so we have a nice photo corner. So fold that out, fold that corner over, and fold it back over. And we'll have a nice photo corner to hold our photo or sentiment. Do that on all 4 of them. Okay, so this is where we stopped on the other one, that we had 4 corners that are pointing down. But for the sides, we don't need 4 of them. We only need 1. So as it's going to be like this, let's see which corner I don't want to. It's going to be like this. This corner will slide into my next frame, but I have to fold these in so it will fit. So what you're going to do is, if you lay it down in front of you in a diagonal, so it looks like a diamond, I'm going to keep that right one as my open one. These other 3 will be folded into the frame. And it's very easy to do. All you do is take your fingers, fold open those folded corners, and take this point that's pointing out and reverse fold. See, we took that out. These 2 diagonal folds, we're going to reverse fold and put the point inside. And it actually is a lot harder to explain than it actually is to do. If you just go around and do them, open it up, make sure your fingers are holding these little flaps under, push that corner in, and then go ahead and fold it down. If there's any resistance, it's usually because I let this flap loose. All right. And one more here. Open up, reverse fold it, fold that point in, and there we have it. So I've got what will be our frame for our photo, and I have one point which I'm going to glue, and we'll glue each one around. Now, if you look on Pinterest or YouTube, you'll see that this is the stage they start doing the photo albums with. You can actually just make a whole bunch of these and make a photo album just by tucking one into the next one. But for our purpose, we'll need 4 of them for the sides of the cube. So let me make those the exact same way, and I'll be right back. Okay, to save some time, I went ahead and made my 2 top and bottom, and these are the ones that had the 4 corners that were still sticking out the bottom. Whoops. So I made 2 of those, top and bottom, and then I have 4 of the ones that fit on the side. And these were the ones that they started out like this, but we only kept one of the points out, and we folded the rest of them back into the inside. And what that gives us is a little pocket to glue other points into. So what we're going to do first is to glue the 4 that are going to be around the sides of the cube, and then we'll glue on the top and the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate patterns. So I'm going to go the polka dotty, the hexagons, the polka dotty, the hexagons. This is where you want to put your square pictures in. Now, I went ahead for this one because it was 6 by 6 I started with, and this picture, this frame area is about a little less than 3 by 3. So I went ahead and cut some white cardstock that was 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, just smaller than the 3 by 3 square that my frame will be. And as you can see, if you tuck them in where those corners are there, it fits nicely right into there. And of course, this is where you want to do pictures. If you want to put your pictures in your photo cubes, or if you want to do a mix of some sentiments and some pictures, it can make for a very personalized and special gift for the person you're giving to, because they can put it on their desk or wherever they want to put it that reminds them how much that you love them and care for them. So go ahead and put your pictures in to the 4 that will go around the outside. And as I said, I didn't do pictures this time. I just went ahead and stamped some things. Oh, actually, I don't want the butterflies together. I want the butterflies opposite. And I stamped some sentiments as well to save a little bit of time. So I got that one and that one. And I got today is your day. And I just use a variety of sentiments that fit my little window and some ink that matched all the colors in my pattern papers. And my last one for the side is time to party. Okay. All right, so I've got my 4 side ones in. Let me move my top and bottom out for the moment. And what we're going to do is just simply glue this tab into that little opening that we made when we folded the point back in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that all the way around on front and back, and I'll use some liquid glue. Put some glue on the front part and some glue on the back. And you can always touch up the glue if you need to. And slide that one in. And I'll stand it up too to make sure that if I did was a little bit off maybe in my folding, that I still want them all to stand evenly all the way around. Okay, so that's one. And I'm doing every other, so this one will go into this pattern one. So we'll slide that one in, and you can see that they're starting to tighten up. And you can hold that down for a minute, because as you glue them together, you got to give them a moment to adhere to each other, otherwise it'll poof back out again. All right, so let's go with this one into my polka dotty one. And if you get to the point where you can't stick this point all the way in, just go ahead and trim off the point. That's okay. It's going to be glued in there. You won't notice. Like if you're too far out, go ahead and trim that off so you can push it in farther. All right, so here we are. And this is how they make the photo albums, because you can actually make a photo album like this. And as I said, this paper is a little bit stiff. It's not quite a cardstock, but it's a stiffer pattern paper. If you use a thinner pattern paper, you really have a nice little photo album you can do. but I wanted it for the cube, so I went ahead and used it. But for the smaller cube, if I was starting out with a 4" by 4" paper, I would definitely use one of the thinner papers, so maybe something more the weight of copy paper or printer paper. All right, let's get our last one together. And here we are. All right. All right, so let me hold that a minute and then we'll get our top and our bottom. Actually, let me put something on top of that. All right, so I'm getting my top and my bottom. Let me just anchor those down with a big acrylic block. And here are my top and my bottom. And you see we left all 4 of the points out. And in the bottom, I'm going to put the happy birthday. But I thought it'd be really nice and special if you put your own sentiment on the bottom, because then the person can always know and pick it up and read what it is that you wanted to say to them. And on the top, I'm going to put, don't count your candles, count your blessings. All right, so that's my top and my bottom, and we're going to glue these in the same way. All right, so go ahead and open your cube back up, and you'll see that we have 4 pockets because we tucked those corners in, and these 4 are going to glue right into those 4 pockets, if I get them in right. All right, so you go ahead and get some glue on all 4 of these points. Oops. Neatly. Let's get some glue neatly on all 4 of these points. All right, I'm putting on the back too. Getting low on this bottle of glue. Hope it holds out for me. All right, so this is the one that I want on the top. So I make sure that my sentiments are all lined up the right way. And let me go ahead and just start tucking these points in. And put them right down. Oh, missed one. There we go. Okay, so tuck that right down on there. And then squeeze those 4 to attach to the glue. And we'll give that just a moment to adhere. And you can go ahead and put a rubber band around it to help hold them together as well. Just not too tight. You don't want it buckling the paper. But actually, even though it's made with paper, even the ones I made with copy paper actually end up to be pretty strong. All right, so let's go ahead and get our bottom one together. And the same thing. We'll go ahead and put some glue on the points, top and bottom. Don't be shy with the glue. Go ahead and put it all on to hold it all together. All right, we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll tuck those points in. And push that one all the way down and do the same thing. And you can see at this point, you can go ahead and put a couple rubber bands around it so you hold these points together so you don't have to. And we'll go ahead and let them dry, and I'll be right back. So now this is my cube. I've given it a little bit of time to dry. I put some rubber bands around it so it would hold everything in. And if I needed to, I throw a couple of glue dots in some of the parts that might gape a little bit. But this is really sweet. And I just decorated these just quickly with some puffy stickers and some word and phrase stickers from Pink Fresh Studio, which were really cute and matched the colors really nicely. So now I have a very pretty and festive photo cube. Actually, this one ends up being a birthday sentiment cube to give to one of my friends. And of course, I have a happy birthday on the bottom, but I think it's a very special place for you to write your own personal message. And then they can set it up on their desk or dresser or kitchen table or whatever they want to Remind them of how much you care for them. All right, and here was my other sentiment one. And the smaller one made out of 4x4. I hope you enjoyed the Origami Photo Cube today, or Sentiment Cube, or whatever you wish to make a cube. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be notified of new videos that I post. For more information, please go to rejoiceandcreate.com. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!